Friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
Hello and welcome, Cheap Shot Nation. You are watching Cheap Shot Entertainment on YouTube. I am your host, Luke, and we are going to take you through everything that happened in the semi-finals of the Mae Young Classic. The winners of the semi-finals will go on to the final, taking place at Evolution on the 28th of October 2018, which is this Sunday as we're talking about it. The show took place on the 24th, which was yesterday as we're talking about it. The two matches are Toni Storm versus Meiko Satomura. Everyone's looking forward to this one, including myself. Everyone I've talked to is looking forward to this one. Meiko Satomura, the end boss, versus Toni Storm, who got to the semi-finals in last year's Mae Young Classic tournament. Just potential to be an absolute fantastic match, and we were not disappointed with this one. And the second match is Rhea Ripley, also from Australia. Toni Storm is from Australia as well, versus Io Shirai, the Queen of the Skies. Io Shirai from Japan, same as Meiko Satomura. So we've got two ladies from Australia, two ladies from Japan. It's a very Eastern flavoured Mae Young Classic this year, but stick right here with Cheap Shot Entertainment and we will take you through all of the action. And the first match of the night, which I was quite surprised about, bearing in mind it is Toni Storm and Meiko Satomura, is Meiko Satomura versus Toni Storm, giving away the match there. But face dynamic. This has potential to go either way. The crowd is absolutely split down the middle. Half of them are going for Toni Storm, half of them are behind Meiko Satomura, and I think all of them are behind this match. Absolutely fantastic, and I've got 2 pages of notes in front of me, which I'm going to take you through now. So, like I say, the crowd is absolutely split. There's a lock-up to start with, lots of technical wrestling, wearing down each other. Sees Storm in control of the arm with a key lock, and there's a reversal into a headlock. There's some body scissors in there, more headlocks, more body scissors, and basically goes to a stalemate. But this goes on for a good couple of minutes. Both ladies trying to get the advantage, feel each other out, see where they can go with their next move. An absolute game of chess in the middle of the squared circle in this one. Toni Storm hits the shoulder barge. Meiko Satomura doesn't go down. She runs back off the ropes, hits the big boot. I haven't seen any lady not go down from Toni Storm's big boot. She hits that with some velocity. Meiko Satomura is on her back in the middle of the ring. Toni Storm gains the advantage. She's working methodically on the arms, the legs, the torso of Meiko Satomura, leading to the first near fall of the match. It's clear at this point that Toni Storm is trying to get the early win against Meiko Satomura, knowing how much she can come back, how well she can come back when she gets fired up towards the end of a match. Very good, very sound strategy. But Meiko comes back, strong style, kicks, focused, strikes, and there's a focus now on Toni Storm's leg and knee after those quick strikes to the back of the leg. Meiko Satomura then puts on sort of like a reverse figure 4 leg lock on Toni Storm, but when she rolls it over, Toni Storm is then in a good position to grab the bottom ropes for the break of the move. Meiko is on top at this point with long rest holds and things like that. Toni manages to come back, strikes Meiko Satomura. Satomura then comes back with the spinning heel kick. Meiko Satomura is back on top. More long rest holds, trying to wear down Toni Storm in this one, trying to keep her grounded, because we know that Toni Storm can fly. Maiko can fly as well, so it is sound mat wrestling at this point. Toni manages to get a second win in this instance. Maiko Satomura is in the corner, running butt press, I've put here. Bridging fisherman's suplex, absolutely beautiful move into a pin. Perfect plex if you're old school, that move, and another near fall. Toni Storm is on top at this point. There's a suicide dive to the outside, hits the mark absolutely perfectly, but Toni does hit her elbow on the steel ramp on the outside. Rolls Maiko Satomura back in, hits the Shining Wizard for a near fall. Crowd thought it was finished. Toni Storm thought it was finished. At this point, it continued. Near fall, Maiko Satomura kicks out of the Shining Wizard. Toni then decides to hit her own style of strong style with some solid kicks to the chest and some heel to face action by Toni Storm to Maiko Satomura. Satomura then gets fired up, and this is what Toni Storm did not want by going for the pin early on in the match. Maiko Satomura is getting fired up, hits the DDT after an exchange of strikes between both ladies, and goes for a pin into a near fall. She then hits the Scorpion Rising, the first time she's going to hit the Scorpion Rising, hits the Death Valley Driver. She's won matches with this in the Mae Young Classic. Toni Storm kicks out, another near fall. The knee is then countered by Toni Storm into a German release suplex, a Storm Zero, which has won Toni Storm matches in the Mae Young Classic 2018. Maiko Satomura kicks out and we're getting frantic now. Both ladies are exhausted. Both ladies are getting frustrated. Both hitting everything they can on their opponent, and there's just no give in either one of them in this instance. After the Storm Zero and the near fall, Toni Storm tries to go for another Storm Zero. Maiko Satomura counters into a Pele kick and a knee and a near fall. Again, kicks out. Toni Storm kicks out, another Scorpion Rising, a near fall, goes for the Death Valley Driver, countered into a Storm Zero by Toni Storm, and gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm is your winner, and she is going on to the finals at Evolution on the 28th of October. Absolutely fantastic match. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this one. Well, hopefully I've got that point across by my notes and what I've told you on Cheap Shot Entertainment on this video. If you watch one match in the Mae Young Classic, it should be this one leading to the final at Evolution. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone should watch this match. Storm goes to the finals, really deserved the win on this one. Maiko Satomura is known as the End Boss for a reason, and Toni Storm beat the End Boss, but she's still not completed the game yet. And your second match of the evening is the second semi-final match. You have Rhea Ripley from Australia versus Io Shirai from Japan. The Queen of the Skies, the Master of Flight, Io Shirai, has won every single one of her matches with the Asai Moonsault, and she's going against Rhea Ripley, who has used her power, simply her power, to go through all the way to the semi-finals. A tremendous showing from both of these ladies, and who would produce another fantastic match, as you would expect from the semi-finals of the Mae Young Classic. The match starts with a lock-up, standard thing in a wrestling ring on the Mae Young Classic. Some of them haven't, but most of them started with a lock-up. Io Shirai is quick to learn that she's not going to match power with Rhea Ripley. That is what's got her to the dance so far in the Mae Young Classic. Rhea Ripley just throwing Io Shirai all around the ring. Eventually Io Shirai does use her quickness to hit a drop kick and Io, and Ripley then quickly counters as she's going for a second one with a backdrop, and Rhea Ripley gets the advantage by using her strength. It would remain that way for most of the match. Strong strikes to Io Shirai. Ripley working the limbs, keeping Io grounded, which is very important in this match, as Io, as we know, likes to fly. She's working the ribs as well. If she can't breathe, she probably can't climb to the top, taking out potentially the aerial game of Io Shirai. Also the Acai moonsault, obviously you hit the other person on the rib cage sort of thing. So if you're taking that out, it's going to hurt it's going to hurt your opponent if they hit it on you. So there's absolute sound strategy from Rhea Ripley. Leg scissors by so at this point Rhea Ripley is absolutely decimating Io Shirai. Leg body scissors on Io Shirai, again taking out the ribs, making it hard to breathe like an anaconda. Rhea Ripley has just wrapped Io Shirai up in this move and she cannot get out. Ripley has complete dominance in this match. She goes back to the leg scissors after a mini kick out by Io Shirai, striking with the elbows. Back to the leg scissors, and the slow pace, the methodical nature of this match is definitely favouring Rhea Ripley at this point. Io turns Rhea Ripley round, gets some strikes in of her own, breaks the hold, gives her some time to breathe and catch her breath, get some momentum back and time to think about her strategy, and that does absolutely work for her for a little while until Rhea Ripley gets back on top. This followed by a drop kick. She's very quick, Io Shirai. She follows up with a drop kick on a stunned Ripley at this point, and Ripley then rolls out of the ring, showing her experience at such a young age. However, we know Io likes to fly. I've said that several times in this video already. Suicide dive, absolutely on the mark to Rhea Ripley on the outside. Just as Io Shirai is going in to break the 10 count, the referee's counting at this point, Rhea Ripley yanks her by the leg and leaves her outside of the ring as she rolls in. The count starts again. Io Shirai barely makes it back into the ring after the assault on the outside, and the match continues. Io Shirai, both ladies then exchange strikes. Io Shirai comes out on top with some quick strikes and some uppercuts, palm strikes. She does this a couple of times as Rhea Ripley tries to then come back. This is followed by a drop kick onto the ropes and the 619 by Io Shirai. This leads to the first near fall for Io Shirai, with Rhea Ripley down in the centre of the ring, licking her wounds. Shirai goes to the top rope, the place where she feels most comfortable. Ripley drags her leg. Io Shirai hits hard on the top turnbuckle, and superplex from Rhea Ripley, the biggest move that I've seen in the Mae Young Classic, certainly this year and probably last year as well. Superplex by Rhea Ripley. Hurts her own back, as we know, we've already said. Rhea Ripley was the victim of a suicide dive that couldn't have done wonders for her back, so hitting the top rope superplex would have aggravated that as well. She goes for the near fall. Shirai kicks out. Ripley is definitely frustrated at this point, and you can tell. Ripley then uses that frustration, sends Shirai into the corner. Shirai moves, Rhea Ripley hits her shoulder into the post. There's a double running knee from Shirai onto Rhea Ripley, and we know what's setting up here. It is the Acai moonsault. She hits it perfectly for the first time in the tournament, might add, but absolutely beautiful looking move, and gets the pin, taking out Rhea Ripley, heading to the finals of Evolution, the finals of the Mae Young Classic on the 28th of October. So with Shirai overcoming the odds, overcoming the power game of Rhea Ripley, and Toni Storm beating the end boss, the game continues literally as Triple H comes down to congratulate both of them into the Evolution pay-per-view. It will be Toni Storm from Australia, part of NXT UK, versus Io Shirai, the Queen of the Skies, from NXT, I suppose you'd call it US. Has been signed to NXT since the summer, the free agent signing that WWE made in the summer. So, moving on to Evolution, it'll take place this Sunday. I've mentioned it several times already. 28th of October 2018. It's... I don't know. It's difficult because obviously there's never been one. So, going into it with an open mind, I could be absolutely flabbergasted by it. With the standard of women's wrestling these days, I am hoping, I've got my fingers crossed, that it will be fantastic. People are treating it with, keeping it at arm's length, don't know what to expect, but we will be watching it on Sunday, and I will be doing a review for you guys on Cheap Shot Entertainment. So if you've liked the video, give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to know when we upload new videos. We also do video games, got Red Dead Redemption coming, got some more Spider-Man to play. We're also going to do a couple of Halloween specials, hopefully. I've seen Halloween the movie, so I'm going to do a review of that. And obviously NXT UK, and also coming up we have Evolution 74, the original Evolution, with Hope Wrestling in Mansfield on the 9th of November. The show is called This Is The End, and it pits Dale and Liam against each other for complete control of Hope Wrestling. So, Cheap Shot Nation, keep it right here and watch the rest of the videos. There's loads of playlists. Like I said, share us with your friends, give us a thumbs up and all of that gubbins on YouTube. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.